Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse review. This time I got the Doomsday and Superman 2-pack from Batman vs. Superman. This set retails for $69.99. I got mine on my birthday for 5% off. I know, it's not much, but what, $3, $4, $3.50, something like that? Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. I wanted to point out, as you can see, there are plastic twist ties only on the chest. I appreciate that. They're less for me to deal with. More of this, please. But starting off with the bottom, there's the barcode if you're looking for this 2-pack. On this side, it's pretty standard fare, but on this side, we have Doomsday and Superman with a... It's kind of what they did with the Batman and Robin wave. Pretty cool looking. And then on the back, you got their art cards, images. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and open it up. Out of the box, we can take a look at their accessories. I actually want to start off with this backdrop. This backdrop, it doesn't have the cards and stands attached. It has them taped on, and as you can see, it did rip off some of the backdrop there, which is unfortunate. I liked how they did it with the Kyle Rayner 2-pack how they did it in my Kyle Rayner 2-pack video. So if you want to see how they did it with the backdrop, check that one out. But, you can kind of see Superman there, and then Batman and Superman fighting each other. No Wonder Woman, though, but, it's just the two of them and this nice turquoise-ish backdrop. I probably will just junk this, but nice that it's included if you want it. Let me bring Doomsday back in here, and as I already alluded to, both of them come with a stand and a trading card. I would take them out, but I don't want to, and I think they both say the same thing. Yep. I mean, if you want to try to read through that, go ahead, but well. So yeah, I'll open these at a later time. Into the binder they will go. But Doomsday, he comes with no accessories unless you count the Kryptonite Spear, which I don't. But let me start with that. What's really cool about this Kryptonite Spear is that they use glow-in-the-dark paint on it. And as you can, pretty cool that they did that. This is going to look great in the collection with my other figures. I don't know if I'll give it to Superman, probably, but let me put that to the side. Superman's accessories, 2 fists, a right open hand that's, I wouldn't say it's like flying hand, but more like reaching out, trying to, help someone. And then he's got a pointy hand for his right hand. All of these are painted flesh tone, by the way. And then this left hand seems kind of small, but, if I compare it to this one, yeah, there's some sizing issues here. I'm pretty sure that hand was reused, but he also comes with a left holding hand as well, which I believe you can kind of... Okay, you can't do that. Can I open it up? Yeah, the issue with these being painted is that it's really a pain to actually get these hands to be useful and do something. So I'm sure you could stick this Kryptonite Spear in that hand piece, but, that's as much as I'm willing to do right now. Pretty decent. So Superman, let's start with him. He is pretty much complete reuse of the original Target exclusive version from the Justice League movie. So I didn't get that figure, or it's not necessarily re-release, but restock. But, I'm glad to have this one. The only thing they really improved here, as far as I can tell, is the cape. The cape is a wired cloth goods cape, so you can have him, on your stand like this. You can have his cape swooping up if you want to. You can have it fully splayed out like, Zack Snyder did in the space when he's like Space Jesus or whatnot. I don't mind the movies, but it's a nice color. It matches pretty well with his boots. It's a red color, but it's bordering on brown. Like it's just a touch of brown in this red, and I do like that. Typically, Cavill had his cape kind of like this, but if you do notice, because this is a reused figure, there's some weird mold lines on here. That was for them to put the cape itself in. So, I don't think they actually remolded the torso, because if they did, they probably would have removed those. But if I pull back here, you can see the rest of where that, non-fabric plastic cape would have been glued in. But yeah, the cape is nice. It bunches up a little too much up here, but if you wanted to, you could pull it back like that. Just up and over. But there you go. I really like the metallic red paint they used on that symbol. It really pops. It really shines. And despite the movies being good or bad depending on who you are, if you like those type of movies, I thought they were fine. I always like the suit designs. I do wish he had the trunks, but with this particular suit, I think it works fine. I just feel like there needs to be more red on it. I will say, I do have one issue with the figure. I can't get him to stand easily without a stand. Like, I can try to fake it, but it's just not going to work. So, if you get this figure, you might have to get a stand. No tread lines on the boots. And because this is one of the original early runs of the figure, they do have the ball jointed wrists, which I don't mind, and ankles. The wrists look fine. I have no issue with that. Let me go ahead and pop on one of his alternate hands. Let's go with the pointy one. Let's we can point at Doomsday like he's giving him a stern talking to, like, Mister, I got a complaint here. I'm Superman. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Again, I can't get him to stand right, otherwise I would. I should have really taken out that stand from the box. I'm regretting that decision now. Alright, I think I have one down here. There's one. Stick him on that. Alright, that works fine for the rest of the review. I noticed some weird mold lines on his midsection when I was articulating him real quick. Kind of strange. But articulation wise, he does have a little bit of crunch forward. I like that. Crunch backwards, pretty good, but it gets a little gappy, especially in the diaper region. Pushing that up doesn't really do much. And of course, since both of those are on a ball joint, you can twist. The lower one, because of those molded marks, it's kind of hard to twist unless you pull it back, twist, and then push it down. But, you can get him into some decent poses with that midsection, so I can't complain too much. But it does start to stress the plastic. You can kind of see a little mark forming on that. I don't know why they added that little detail, but I wish they didn't. I already showed you what the cape can do. Before I forget the head sculpt, I don't mind this head sculpt. I think it's just a little dead. And they did get his very, very dark brown hair color correct. He doesn't have black hair. It's a very, very dark brown. But I like the mold here. If it was repainted better, I think this would be a good likeness. It's got the right texture. Or it doesn't have the right texture. It has the right, shape. Just not the right texture. The eyes look good. The eyebrows look good. He's just kind of dead. I mean, he dies in the movie. But you know what I mean. Also, look at how thick these forearms are. Or biceps. Look how thick these biceps are. I mean, the biceps and the forearms are pretty thick regardless. But, man, chonky. It doesn't hinder his articulation too much. So, you hear that crunch? He can get well over a 90 or 180 horizontal. He can do pretty good there. And that is in a rotator cuff butterfly joint style. It's not much, but it's a little bit. And then he does have a swivel at the forearm. This is pretty tight. And then you got the crunch into elbow. Pretty good. He can almost touch his shoulder. And obviously this is a wrist peg. You can twist it. You can go in and out, or you can go up and down. The legs here, let's go ahead and see them splits. Oh, he can't really do the splits. He kind of gets stuck at like an A pose. There is a little bit of twist though. Kick forward. He doesn't really kick forward. He kind of kicks a little to the side. And then knee joint wise. Ugh, I do not like the sound of that. It's like... he can kick his own ass. You don't see that too often with these figures. Fix that leg, and obviously you've seen what an ankle joint can do. He's got plenty of range of movement there, even with how it's cut. So no issues with articulation for Superman, really. besides that, those really tight joints. That kind of, I don't like that. And also the weird molding on his midsection there. But let me go ahead and push him back so we can take a look at this chunky boy, Doomsday. I don't particularly care for this design, but having it in hand now, this thing is impressive. You know, I could obviously bust out the ruler right now, but he's at least 10 inches. He's taller than Atrocitus. Like, that's crazy. Like, this guy is a big boy. Damn right. I do wish he came with some alternate hands, but what I found most interesting about this figure, he can't even fit in camera. Let me height adjust this. I'm still gonna have to like bring him down, but let's get as high as we can. Hey, you can see my mic in frame. Oh well. But Doomsday here, he's looking pretty mean. He makes him look so small. Like I can. That'd make a good thumbnail right there. Superman tiny. I don't think Doomsday really talked during the movie, but this is a big fig, of course, and as I said, having him in hand, I really see why the price of this was $70. You know, he's complete reuse, but this guy is all, as far as I can tell, brand new, and it shows. You know, at some point I might try to do a custom head sculpt for Doomsday here. Getting the paints to match would be a bit of a pain, but I like what Mcfarlane did here with this kind of bonish yellow color. It, you know, reminds me of Doomsday, like proper Doomsday, not this weird General Zod amalgamation they did, but really like how they did that, especially the spine. This looks really cool. I kind of wish we saw him with his proper, you know, like actual Doomsday look, you know, maybe with the containment suit. I'm just saying. Hopefully James Gunn gets around to Doomsday, because I love to see him. I know I keep saying Doomsday, but I'm thinking of the Avengers movie. But the texture work here is also very, very nice. On camera, he's coming off a little gray, but in person, he's more of a teal color with a brown wash. If I come here to the ankle, I think it's down here. Yeah, the back of the ankle here, you can see what I mean. You can see that he's actually this tealish blue color underneath, and this figure is completely painted front to back. The back isn't as detailed besides that, you know, or at least on the legs, but everywhere on this figure is painted, and you know what? That's appreciated. There's a lot of care and detail put into this Doomsday. You know, it's not a particularly good Doomsday look, but what Mcfarlane did with it, I think it's fantastic. Let's go ahead and look at them toes. He's only got 4 toes. Poor General Zod's day. There's some pretty big toes though. Like probably the size of someone's hand. Like actually, speaking of which, yeah, that toe is gigantic. Look at that. Isn't that absurd? Anyway, head sculpt. The head sculpt here, I like it. It looks pretty good. Those black dead eyes, the general weird look to it, that diamond thing in the nose. It's very well done, and I have to give them props. They did a great job with the look of this figure. Articulation-wise, let's take a look at that. One thing before I point out articulation, I don't know if you can hear this. That's a hollow plastic torso, just like King Shark. So if you're worried over time that things will be brittle, if anything, it's going to be this torso. But it seems pretty solid. I'm pushing on it pretty hard, so I would just be careful picking him up not to, like, you know, crunch him, because that might, you know, break the figure in the future, but I don't see that happening. The arms here, you can probably hear that too. It's very, there's a lot of friction, but it's not like a ton. I will say the joints on this guy, at least the ratcheted joints, they feel pretty good. Nothing feels too tight. You can kind of see what he's doing. He's also got a swivel there, nothing bad. Hand-wise, you know, you can twist it. You can twist it that way. A lot of good articulation. Wish he had a forearm, but given how painted this figure is, he does pretty good. He can almost get a full T-pose going there. And then the fisted hand. The ratchet on that one's a little tight on mine. And then he doesn't have an upper body. This is all one piece. He doesn't really go forward too much. Backward, pretty good. And the piece of hair, the diaper, doesn't get in the way too much, but it will deform. You can put it back. Let's see that split. Ugh. Ugh, I do not like that. Ugh. I do not recommend that split. And then let's see his kick. It really deforms that diaper piece, but you know, you could put him in a pose like that. You know, you can bend that knee joint, you could twist it, you know, something like that. I should really lower the camera for the legs. I realize I still have it up. Let me do that. That's good. And then he's got ankle. I already showed the back. And then the forward. And then the twist. What a twist. Think of that Robot Chicken skit. And then twist up here, pretty much non-existent. There's not much to see. So much to do, so much to see. Anyway, I think that covers Doomsday pretty well. I really like... Mainly the thing I love about this is the scale. In box, you can't really tell, but out of the box, he is very, very impressive. So, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. This is always my favorite time. Or rather, my favorite portion of the video. Superman here at his height stands at about 7.5 inches tall. Doomsday is clocking in at just over 10 inches tall. He's a big boy, I keep telling y'all. So let's start off with a comparison I wanted to see for a while. Let me get Doomsday out of the way here. But Cavill and Christopher Reeve. It's such a shame we never got to see these two on the big screen together. I don't count the Flash movie. Because I don't know why they did that. But it's really cool seeing, you know, the first major motion picture Superman and the most recently released live action adaptation of Superman on the big screen. Obviously, we're getting David Corn Sweat's Superman in the near future, and I'm sure we're going to get toys from Mcfarlane for that. So it'll be nice to see the three of these actors together in figure form. I look forward to it. I like the dichotomy, the very bright colors, no texturing, versus darker colors, more texturing. I do prefer that red, shiny metallic paint, though. I really like that. But that's Christopher Reeve there. George Reeves. George Reeve? I'm getting my Supermen mixed up. They both have Reeves in their name. Or Reeve. Damn it. Anyway, here's Batman from... I don't think there was a particular wave he came in. And I do believe this height is accurate. I believe he's a little bit shorter in real life compared to Cavill. But it's nice to have these two together. They work well. You know, he's got the texturing and the paint. And he's just got the texturing and the darker colors. I like that. Actually, we'll keep Batman in here. I don't have any of the other Justice League members, but I do have, John Cena here. And I do believe that his height is out of scale. But, you know, the figures look good together. That's what really matters. And the person that put Superman in the ICU, we got, I forget his name. Idris Elba's character. Let me think of it. Dead something. Why can't I? Bloodsport. It's Bloodsport. Took me a minute. But nice to see all these, Snyderverse characters together. Or, DCU, I guess. Anyway, let me get them out of here and we can go on to our usual suspects. I would have brought in more big figs, but I didn't want to take them off my shelf. So, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking, let's have them positioned like that. Trying to get him perfectly centered here. So, starting off with our other DC Multiverse figures, we got Build-A-Figure Atrocitus. I told you, look at how big this Doomsday is. It's absurd. It's absurd how big this Doomsday is. Then we got Arkham City, or he goes over here. Arkham City, gold label. We got the Jazzwares Spartan Yoroi from the Halo Spartan collection. Our wrestling figures, we have the AEW Unrivaled Samoa Joe and the Mattel WWE Elite 100 John Cena. WrestleMania is next week, or rather this weekend, I should say. Can't wait for that. John Cena's heel turn's been the most interesting thing to happen in, I'd say, a couple months. And if I can grab my figure here, he's about to fall over. We're moving into our 6-inch scaled stuff. We have the G.I. Joe Classified Tiger Force Outback. We have Star Wars Black Series Retro Card Boba Fett. The Marvel Legends Scarlet Spidey. Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Black. And Jaded Toys Sonic 3 Sonic. And let me lower this a little bit so you can get a better idea of all these characters at more eye height. Actually, eye height would be... my stand's having issues. There you go. So, overall, I really like this 2-pack. I am very glad I bought it. $70 is a lot, but given how big this Doomsday is and all the paint attached to him, I'm perfectly fine with paying full price for this. If you are looking for a sale, though, I do believe Amazon has it for, I want to say like 50 some odd dollars. Might be less than that, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also got a new mic for this video. I hope it worked well. I'm going to listen to the playback, but leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.